What's up, y'all? It's your girl Jay Rene with Prison Ride Radio. I hope that you're doing well. This evening, we got a brother on the phone by the name of Daniel. He is currently behind the G wall, but he is not letting that stop him from moving forward and moving up. So we're gonna holler at bruh and see what he got going on. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm fine, bro. How are you?
I'm good. I'm left, so I'm good.
All right, for sure. Thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to speak with us today to let us know what you got going on and what's on your mind, for sure.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so let's jump right into it. So give the people a little brief, little bio of yourself and where you're from.
Okay, so my name is Daniel Green. I grew up in a lot of different places. Moved, between North Carolina, southeast North Carolina, so Scotland County, Robertson County, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Florence, South Carolina. So those are places I lived before being locked up. Once I was arrested and locked up, of course, like a lot of us in plantations, I've been shipped around from prison to prison over the last 30 years of my life. So my history is one of pretty much, living my whole existence almost, in this plantation.
Right. So you say you've been, behind the G wall for 30 years of your life. That's definitely a lot of time to stand up on. How have you stayed motivated through that time?
Well, I think it's a lot of it has to do with circumstances, and then some of it is probably just whatever your natural disposition is. My natural disposition is one that, I like to believe in free will. I don't like being subjected to anything that I feel is unrighteous. I was locked up when I was 16 years old for a self-defense situation. I did 2.5 years, and the charge was overturned. It was a self-defense case that happened. It was an accident. I was in the process of trying to defend myself, to keep some guys off of me. I did 2.5 years from 16 to 18. And those 2.5 years was served in Western North Carolina, which at that particular time was a very racist area. We went through a lot of juveniles in our state systems, whether you're talking about the prison system, whether you're talking about getting caught up in social services, whether you're talking about these mental health, institutions. This is like the worst place for your child to be at. And a lot of times, we grow up in areas where when we do fall into the custody of the state, sometimes our family, they don't really represent for us as they should, and they kind of hand it over to the state and the God or whatever, instead of being warriors for us. So I did 2.5 years. I was, when I was 18, I was out for 1 month. A guy who was a friend of mine at that time killed Michael Jordan's father, Jay Rene, and I helped him cover the crime up. When I was locked up, I kept it G and did not cooperate with the police. At the time, I knew for certain that there were some officers that was involved in some things that may not have directly led to Mr. Jordan's death, but definitely led to the guy who killed him being in that area at that time. His name is Larry Demery. I didn't cooperate. When I was arrested, he was a black guy, and then, what appeared to be a white guy, he's actually Lumbee Indian, but, for all practical purposes, when you look at the imagery, it's a black guy against a white guy, even though he had 260 years more charges than me, even though he had a warrant that they had out for his, for him, to lock him up, and they just did not do it. They knew where he was at, and they allowed him to roam free. And the thing is, I want people to understand is that, if the police had treated him the same way that they would have treated me, if they had a warrant out for my arrest for robbery, assault with a deadly weapon, charges, I would not have been given that free reign. He was. And because he was given that free reign, James Jordan was murdered. And so I think that a lot of, with my case, of course, it's the optics. It's always easier to convict somebody that look like me as opposed to somebody that look like him. I think we just seen that with the Rittenhouse case, where, I don't know the exact, I'm not familiar enough with this guy's case, but it's obvious that he had a gun, went from miles away, went to another area, was walking in the streets, ended up killing somebody. If that would have been one of us, what the outcome would have been. So, of course, you had the optics that played a role in it, but also just the fact that this is the person that had a warrant out for his custody to be, apprehended, and because he was already associated with him, he was not. So my history is pretty much the one who's, first of all, made the wrong choice of taking somebody as a friend without really vetting them. And what I mean is that, last time I had really seen him, we were kids.
Right.
And so when I got out of prison, when you come out, when you go to prison, a lot of times your community, some people in your family, they kind of leave you for dead.
Yeah.
So when you come out, whoever show you love first, that's who you gravitate towards. And that's what I did. And not being able to apply like a very stringent filtering process to my selection of who I, wanted to be associated with. I embraced him, and once you embrace somebody, it's for better or worse, right? And that's what led to me, kind of losing my life. I've been in 30 years, and just now hopefully can come out on the other end.
Yeah, that is, I want to commend you for sure for keeping your head through all of that and all of this time, because that's definitely a lot, and I definitely agree with you when it comes to about the vetting process, because I've fell victim to that before too. Like when you grow up with somebody or you feel like you know somebody, like that's your people's, and like you don't change, so time can pass and you see them again and you kind of assume that they're the same person, and it don't always work out like that, So
yeah, it's very rare. It's very rare. And the thing is that one of the problems that we have as a people right now is our values, because we're allowing our values to be dictated by popular culture. Popular culture, of course, is controlled by the people that are, that have the power over the mass media, social media, these different, venues, avenues, hip hop, literature, So, like right now, our value system is being controlled by our enemy. And when it comes to loyalty, of course, most people see loyalty as a virtue. But I think that one thing I've really had to think about over the years, and just reassess is, how much good does loyalty does us if you don't know how to apply it properly. That's where parenting comes in. And so, I was raised by a single mother, and my mom and her, friends, her girlfriends, they rocked with each other through everything together. Like, whether it was food, breaking food down, whether it was getting money together, whether it was, going to war, when it comes to, boyfriends who were mistreating them. Like my mother and her friends had a loyalty, that really as black men, we can't be that free with our loyalty because we already a target, right? And so, I think that I just tell, like right now, one of my major themes in life when I'm telling people about parenting is that if you're not ready to be a warrior, then you shouldn't have any children. Don't have children because you're looking to be loved unconditionally. You feel me? If you're not ready to go to war, as a black person, if you're not ready, I'm talking about, because here's the thing, these other kids, parents, they're waging war. They're waging war against us when it comes to them going to PTA and then showing up and they're supporting their kids and the principals and the teachers' ears. And we're not even our kids is working. I know I was a kid that excelled in school, but I couldn't get the credit because, the other kids' parents, they were there, they were more connected, they were more present. And so they were advocating for their kids, and it was taking away our credit. And after a while, as a child, you just kind of give up when you're not getting what you're supposed to get. When you're already up against the wall, you're already told that you got to be twice as good, but then you twice until you're not getting it. So yeah, that's real talk. Like you ain't ready to be a parent, you know, like when you start having children, you ain't ready to be a soldier, you ain't ready to put that work in, then
But yeah, I definitely agree with you, bro, that parenting is very, very important. You know, the most important part of what's going on. And you said, like you were saying, you know, just to have kids because you're lonely or want something to love is highly unfair. And I think that people don't take having children, they don't really realize the responsibility that comes with that.
right. Yeah, and like I said, and unfortunately, like, you know, our parenting experiences is not going to be the same as people who are already in a position of power, right? Whether you're talking about socially, economically, or whatever, like, because we are targeted people, and that's one thing, like, we have to accept also. We have to, like, start really speaking and viewing the world in terms that you know, acknowledges reality. You see what I'm saying? And stop making it so subjective, because like we was talking earlier about how people use words and how they use labels to legitimize certain actions. So that, say for instance, if you kill somebody and you have a uniform on, then that's acceptable until proven otherwise. Whereas, you know, saying somebody else killed somebody, then it's murder and it's a sin. What is the difference? It's the exact same crime. You know what I'm saying? It's the exact same action. And a lot of people don't know that the police do not have, and this is what the Supreme Court has said, that the police do not have any duty to protect and to serve the people. That is not a legally enforceable, you know, policy and protocol.
Very true.
Because they don't work for you, they work for the city, which is a corporation, right? Or the town, or for the state. So we have an expectation that's not even based in reality, based on this propaganda program that was put forth, you know, years ago when they were trying to, you know, clean up the image. And I'm not somebody that's anti-police, but I'm somebody that's definitely for equality. You see what I'm saying? If you're going to be a police officer, there should be a higher standard for you. Like, you should be less likely to kill somebody.
Right. I agree.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah, you should be less likely to like disrespect somebody.
Thank you.
To make somebody feel unsafe. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So for those that's doing it, I like to salute them. And for those who not doing that, then yeah, you should definitely defund their ass and get them out of there. You know what I mean?
Yes. You know what? This conversation lets me know we're going to have plenty more, because this is a subject that I talk about a lot. You know, being prior service, I have some particularly strong views on that. You know what I mean? But I want to get back, bro, on what you got going on, because I know that you have a book, correct? And you're a writer. So I want to talk more about your writing. What got you into writing?
Well, first of all, let me say this. So I would not classify myself as a writer.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if people know who your husband is. He's a writer. You know, I wouldn't put myself in that category. But by necessity, right, I've had to write. You know, when you're dealing with, if you're in prison and you're trying to regain your freedom and you're trying to, you know, do it in a lawful manner, of course you have to learn how to articulate your ideals and your position and your reality. So with me, what happened was that, the like book that we have coming out soon is called Dear Mr. Jordan, and it started out as me trying to get letters to Michael Jordan and his family, and I want to say that I don't elevate, you know, Michael Jordan over the rest of his family when it comes to, you know, to the loss of, you know, their family member, Mr. Jordan. But you know, the reality is that because, you know, Michael Jordan was one of the children that suffered this loss, it's a different type of case, right? It has nothing, you know what I'm saying, pretty sure to do with, you know, it's not a reflection probably on them or the family or whatever. It's just a reflection of the way that society views things. And so, being that, you know, here's the thing, right? When somebody loses a family member, right, or when somebody is victimized, what happens is that you have this third party, right, which is the state or the city or whatever, that comes in and say, listen, let me handle this, I'm going to handle this. Now, understand that for the state and for the city, for any government, this is business. That is the primary purposes of court, is to conduct commerce, right? This is business. They talk about court business is really driven by, not by getting justice for people. It's driven by the fact that you have this enterprise going on, called a municipality or county, and you have somebody that gets injured and it cuts into their money. Okay, so that's like the main regulating factor. We all know that it's about money and it's about who you are. Okay, in my situation, what happened was that immediately upon my being locked up, me being arrested and charged with this crime, the sheriff and other people, they actually struck while the iron is hot. And I want people, because we use this phrase sometimes and we don't understand what it means. So for anybody that has actually seen the process, like when metal gets hot, that is the only time that you can stamp something into it, that you can put your imprint on it, right? Like if you're making like a sword or something, and you gonna get it hot, so you can melt it down. Well, that's the same type of process of when somebody lose somebody and you don't know what's going on and you're emotionally distraught. You're extremely vulnerable, just like that metal, right? And so what the police did is that they came in and they said, okay, this black guy, he just got out of prison. Okay, how can we take advantage of this? He just got out of prison. He's not cooperating with us, so he's going to be the one that wear it. So what they actually did is, if a person go back and, like, say, for instance, 1993, maybe between August 15th, August 16th, if you look at the New York Times, you'll see there's an article that was saying that I had just gotten out of prison for armed robbery, for burglary, and for assault. Now, in fact, I had just gotten out of prison for assault, and that charge was overturned. Assault with a deadly weapon, and the charge was overturned based on it being like a wrongful conviction. It was an accident that happened during self-defense. But that's not what they put out in the public. While the iron was hot, they put that image out that I was somebody that was a career criminal. That I was like the proverbial predatory young black male. They had a video of me rapping, had nothing to do with my case. I was rapping. That's what I was trying to do with my life. And they took that and they used that to say this guy's rapping about killing James Jordan, even though there was nothing that was said that it would even fit the circumstances of this man's murder. Follow what I'm saying? Right. So my point is that with them striking while the iron is hot, the reason why they're able to do that is because the officials in the media have a symbiotic type of relationship. You know what I mean? When you're dealing with the police, they go to the media to get out their viewpoint first. In the media, because they're in there rush to be the first ones to get out. That's how they say it. They're dealing with the same officers. So you're dealing with people that have had relationships for years, for decades even, and that are both actually kind of funded by the same people. Like they're in the same circle. If you sue any media entity as I have, I have sued libel and slander. I have filed and I have won libel and slander lawsuits against the media. What I found out was that the same lawyers that represented them was the same lawyers that represented government officials. So these law firms you know what I'm saying? So these law firms are they're like hubs in the middle of the wheel with the spokes going out. This spoke is the media, the other spoke is the government, the other spoke they could be lobbying organizations, and they're all working together to protect each other's interests. They're not caring about reality, because if they were caring about reality, it would have been very simple to verify that I had never been to prison for that. You know what I'm saying? I had never been to prison for any type of crime that involved me trying to get something out of somebody. Right. But once they put that out there, that's what that became the whole narrative. This nigga just got out of prison. He's seen this car. He's seen James Jordan. He had some gold. You know how niggas is. Niggas love gold. And he went crazy and he killed this man. That was the narrative, right? So what I've tried to do over the years is make and experience and me not really having no connections is, well, how can I get what is real out there? It has to be kind of easy, I'm thinking, because it's reality. Reality stands for itself. But what I found out was that, like, that the people I was represented by during my trial, they have a vested interest. And sometimes it's so subtle that they're not even conscious of it, because that's just what they've been doing. They were taught to do it that way. That's all they know. They're part of the community. Like one of my lawyers, he was on the board for of schools. Another one of my lawyers, he had like a studio. Actually, man, was like ended up doing business together with music and studios and stuff. So he slugged in the community that way. He owns property in that area. So it's like nobody wants to be the ones to get up there and to tell the truth, because they don't want to lose these relationships. So the media doesn't want to get in there and attack the police just by telling them, just by telling the truth, just by giving them reality. You know what I mean? Because then they're going to lose whatever cooperation that they're able to garner from the police. They're not going to be able to get that story. And the police, they have this thing, like they're trying to cover their tracks, and they're trying to look out for whatever narrative that, like, their superior goes with. So it all goes down to hierarchy. And so what I had to do is I said, okay, well, how can I overcome that? And eventually, instead of me writing other people for help or me doing interviews and my words constantly being deliberately misconstrued and deliberately edited out of context, and no matter what I said and how logical I was and how methodical I was in presenting my case, these people still have their narrative, their story that, like, they want to run with. You see what I'm saying? So that was the purpose of me writing. And so after me not really beginning the process, I trusted other people to like get letters to the Georgians, and I realized that they weren't getting them. Now next, what I realized was that, well, you know what? This man's attorney does not have a really genuine interest. Not saying that they may not actually be doing it, but just from a business perspective, they don't have an interest in coming in and telling the family, you know what, this guy's innocent, and this man had nothing to do with your father's death. Because if they do that, that kills one of their sources of them making money off this case, which is to keep conflict going. As long as this case is kept going and kept spinning, these people can continue to make money off of it in a variety of different ways, and everybody's getting their cut. You see what I'm saying? So with me writing, and if we go back to what you originally asked me writing was just me taking the muzzle off. You understand? Me writing is just saying, okay, I'm gonna speak directly to this family. I'm not in a position to persuade this family.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
As somebody who has suffered loss, who has had several members of my family brutally murdered, and understanding that I could not trust the authorities to like get to the reality, even if they have the best intentions, because we all dealing with humans. Let me speak directly to them, and let me speak to them in a way that it can't be ignored, it can't be covered up. So by me putting this out in a book, if they don't read it, it's because they don't want to read it.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
It's going to be out there.
Wow, bro.